For critics, Guantánamo symbolizes how the United States has thrown the rule of law overboard in the war on terrorism. US President Biden has announced the goal of closing the prison camp. That means 20 years after the opening of the US prison camp in Guantánamo, the human rights organization Amnesty International is calling on US President Joe Biden to close the controversial facility. The camp is a synonym for arbitrariness, injustice, and torture. The Guantánamo system cannot be repaired, said Amnesty's USA expert Sumit Bhattacharya to the German press agency in Washington. And he says, the camp itself must be closed and people who were involved in torture or illegal activities must be brought to justice. They have to answer for their actions. On the occasion of the upcoming 20th anniversary of the opening of the camp, Amnesty International is planning protests in several cities, even here in Germany and other countries. The first prisoners were brought to the camp in Cuba on January 11th in 2002, which is located in a US military base. Amnesty accuses the US of having continuously and systematically violated human rights in the camp. The organization demands that the 39 remaining prisoners must be given a fair trial under the rule of law before civil courts. If no evidence of crimes can be produced, they would have to be released, they say. A total of almost 700 people were temporarily detained in the camp in Cuba. It was built after the terrorist attacks on September 11th in 2001 under Republican President George W. Bush to detain suspected Islamist terrorists without trial. Bush's successor, Democrat Barack Obama, wanted to close it, but failed due to opposition in the US Congress. The Republican Donald Trump, in turn, wanted to keep the camp open. Biden, who was once Obama's vice president, has targeted the closure. According to his government, he has initiated a comprehensive review of the prison camp. It has been known for 2 decades that this camp does not meet international standards, said Bhattacharya as a check. With a view to the US congressional elections this year, the expert added, it would be very much to wish that Biden would get serious before the next election in November and finally close the camp so that the stain on US history is finally wiped out. Biden's efforts to date are, however, rather half-hearted, he said. Half-hearted, not half. A commitment by the new federal government to the closure of Guantánamo would be welcome, said Bhattacharya. The federal government could, of course, warn the US government that the camp is illegal. One could possibly, if the Americans want that, take in people who have come from the camp who are proven innocent, so that at least the Gordian knot can be untied at that point. The US has had difficulties in the past in finding host countries for released prisoners from Guantánamo. Bhattacharya said Guantánamo sent out a devastating signal from the start. He says, the Guantánamo camp has sent the signal to the world that states which, like the USA, see themselves as champions of human rights, are prepared in certain situations to give up fundamental principles such as the rule of law. A much stronger sign would have been to say, the United States is countering serious crimes such as the 9/11 attacks with the rule of law, and we're not deviating from this principle either. Well, this is a topic that is quite discussable for a long time. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.